Hey, what's up, guys? Calling on about the video, and today I want to do my Toonami review. So, for October 8th through October 9th, 2022. So, let's go on. Start off the block there. First on the block we had Housing Complex C there. So episode starts out with fucking we see Kimmy there was technically looking around the apartment there and stuff like that, and she was technically looking around and stuff. Freaking we see the old people there. We're talking to them and say what is going on and stuff like that. What is going on with the strange stuff is happening around here and stuff like that. That's what they're saying and stuff. This guy comes over and brings live shrimp there, and then they're like, and he's like, "You want to eat live shrimp?" They're like, "Oh yeah, sure, let's eat it," and stuff like that. Pretty disgusting there. So they were eating live shrimp there, and the lady walks over, and she was saying, "What are you guys are doing? Why are you eating live shrimp there?" They're like, "Oh, it's good there. It's good for your nutrition or something like that." That's what they're saying, and mostly they're just acting super weird about it and stuff like that. Technically, the old people walked over to where the guy was, who's named Kimmy in the first episode. Technically, he was actually filming some like moss there, and he was actually they're telling him, "What are you doing over here?" And he's like, "Oh, these are great moss." And stuff like that. And he said, "This is a beautiful moth there," and stuff like that. So, so they're explaining that stuff there and stuff like that, and he kind of looked pretty odd in this episode there. So the old people investigate where this guy was doing and stuff like that. We and then they're like actually was saying like what is going on and stuff, and then they told him and stuff like that. And then he said he found that some like bodies there are technically corpses there. Technically, he found some corpses, and he picked up the corpses there, and technically buried them and stuff like that. He said it was right in front of Kimmy's house there, and mostly the old people at Bexagate there, and technically they dug it up. They're like, wait, why there's so much of these corpses here? And they actually mentioned that. It's like why there's so much of these corpses here and stuff like that. So, and then we get to the end of the episode there, where technically the one of the guys there walks upstairs and he gets killed by something. They didn't really show where he actually got killed by, and and then Kimmy was asking her friend to do some like ice party or shape ice party thing. They had a good time there, and then the guy investigates the thing there, and he finds a fucking heart there, and Kimmy screams. And that's where the episode ends. So that was Complex C. Next we had Yashahime, didn't watch that. Alright, after Yashahime we had Luthon Report third part 6 there. Didn't watch that either. After Luthon, we had One Piece. So, episode starts out with Nami, Chopper, and Sanji were trying to run away there. Their bodies got fucking switched there. And they're like, well, we need to get out of here and stuff like that. Sanji being a perv there. He's like, oh, I have been there. And Nami fucking hits him there. He's like, "You fucking pervert," and stuff like that. And mostly he's using Frankie's body, so technically she knocks her the fuck out. and and then he's like, "Oh, come on," and stuff like that. And it's like, I never had this before and shit. And I thought it was pretty funny there and stuff like that. So they technically were walking around the snow there and stuff like that, and they're like, technically, the kids were feeling really, really cold there, and the guide said, "Oh, I have a trick here, but anybody has like any leaves or anything?" They're like, "Wait, how? There's no leaves here," and stuff like that, in this frozen part of the island and stuff like that. He's like, "Well, just find some rocks." So everybody puts rocks on their fucking heads. They're like, "Okay, we have rocks on our heads and stuff like that." So he transforms the rocks into coats there. Mostly transports the rocks into coats there and stuff like that. And then like, "Oh, finally we got something. We're finally warm and stuff like that." And he said, "Don't take them off, or they will disappear." So he was saying stuff about that and stuff like that for it. So when they were saying stuff about that there, technically the guy there, he was taking on, or the Lucan there, I think that's what his name is. He fucking was taking on Smoker, and technically when he was taking on Smoker there, he was doing up a pretty good fight there. He said, "Why you're doing here?" and stuff like that. He's like, "What you're doing here?" and stuff. He's like, pirates and he was saying pirates and Navy guys can't be on this island there and stuff like that. That's what he was saying there to him, and he was actually was taking them on and stuff like that. Uh, Mostly he was taking them on and stuff, and he mostly gets his ass kicked there by him. He mostly takes him on, and he was fighting him pretty well, and then till he hits him in the rock there, he's like, "You're just worthless" and stuff, and he told him that. And then he did like something there to remove his heart. Technically, he removed his heart there, and he's like, "Fuck, he got me. He got my heart and shit." So he gets laid the fuck out there. He's like, and then you just see his heart pounding. He's like, and then he grabs it there, and he's like, "This is yours" and stuff, and that's where the episode ends. So yeah, that was One Piece. Next, we had another episode of One Piece. I'm not gonna do that one. After One Piece, there we had Naruto Shippuden. Episode starts out with Gaara going back to the thing, mostly the Sand Ninja. We're technically worried about Gaara there, and technically Gaara was talking to his support in there, saying something about how the villagers technically hated him there and stuff like that, and he was an enemy and stuff. And mostly they're using Gaara as a machine there, and plus that's why. And he said, and he was saying something about like his father was trying to kill him 6 times there, and he technically failed there and stuff like that. So he's like, no matter what, I always have enemies in this village there. And that's what Gaara was actually saying to the guy there. he's like, who are his importance there? So technically, we see Shura and Oegi, or not Oegi, I forgot what her name was. The girl who honestly Gaara trained there. I think it was in the end of Naruto, the original Naruto. She came she came his supportant there. I forgot what her name was. So technically, technically him and her were technically fighting, and she was saying something about we both under trading over Lord Gaara there and stuff like that. And mostly they technically fought there. Shiro and her were technically fighting there and stuff like that. They said they wanted to fight for both of the squirrels there, but they're both the same squirrels they have. And mostly, technically, Shiro technically won there. And he's like, oh, and he picked her up, and he's like, let's go, and stuff like that. And he's like, oh, you earned this, and then they're like, well, that's not gonna work because they're both heaven scrolls, and then they need an earth scroll and a heaven scroll to do it, but they both have heaven scrolls, and they're like, oh, that's not gonna work, and stuff like that. Mostly, they were saying something about Gara was saying something about there, saying, well, let's just cancel the second exam there, and stuff like that. So he was actually addressing that, saying, or the third exam there, he said, we will find anything from the second exam there, and stuff like that. How they become tuning and stuff. Mostly, we see, Shira goes out of the village there, with the girl there and stuff like that, and she was kind of blushing there and stuff. She was telling like Shira there, and then he's like, well, let's go there, and then she's like, and stuff like that. And she goes with him and stuff, and mostly when that was going on with that, we see the waterfall ninja. The waterfall ninja were getting chased by the Akatsuki there. And then mostly Fu was trying to run away with them and stuff. And they're like, well, we had to stop there. And then technically they stopped there and stuff like that. When they technically stopped there, and we see, I forgot what the guy's name was, Kakazu there, and I forgot what the guy with the thing where the dude doesn't die. I forgot what his name was. But they're like, she's like, oh, horse food is pretty stupid. There, she was saying, oh, I want to be your friend there and stuff like that. And he's like, you damn fool. He's like, I'm not gonna be your friend there and stuff like that. And she's like, oh, that's too bad there and stuff like that. And then mostly he says. And then the Akatsuki guy was with him. He's like Hakazu, she is stupid or something. She's like barely and stuff like that. And mostly that was going on with that stuff there. And I think they technically caught Fu in a way. The Akatsuki technically caught Fu, and we see the Leaf Village there. We see everybody getting to Junin there, and Neji getting to Jonin there, and then they're like, oh, Naruto's gonna be pissed, and we see Naruto and Jiraiya. They're like, oh, well, we had to train there, and it's time to go back to the Leaf Village and stuff like that. That's what Jiraiya was actually saying, and Naruto's like, yeah, I will do my training and stuff like that. So, and that's where the episode ends. So yep, that's Naruto Shippuden. Mostly next we had Made in Abyss. That was a rerun, and yeah, we had Made in Abyss. Two episodes of Made in Abyss, and those were reruns. So yep. Comment, rate, more sponsors to bros. We like talking about those. Subscribe, hit the bell notification on the uploads. Responses to bros. Like, check out, and have your peace.